Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'd like to remind those listening what this bill would unleash. Today, at the end of 2025, as it stands today, provisions in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act will expire, I should say. And it's not the corporate rate, despite what my friend Ms. Jayapal had said. This would be the individual rates. And so here's what would happen if this bill were implemented. The amendment would increase tax revenues by more than $2.1 trillion over the next 10 years. And it would increase tax revenues on hardworking Americans, not on the corporations that were mentioned earlier. So in other words, it would raise taxes on the millions of hardworking Americans who have seen those taxes reduced by the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. The average taxpayer across the nation, the average taxpayer in my district, would see a 22% tax hike if the Trump tax cuts expire. A family of four making the median income in the United States would see a tax increase of almost $1,700 if this amendment were adopted. 40 million families would see their household's child tax credit cut in half if this amendment were adopted. 91% of all taxpayers would see their guaranteed deduction slashed in half. 26 million small businesses would be hit with a 43.4% tops tax rate if the Section 199A small business deduction expires. 7 million taxpayers would be impacted by the return of the alternative minimum tax if we don't pass this bill, if this amendment were adopted. 2 million family-owned farms would have their death tax exemption slashed in half next year. For the past 4 years, Americans have lived in an America where Democrats have proposed the highest sustained levels of taxation in American history. We're not going back to that.